Hello hunters, and welcome to this episode of the Hunt Weapon Guide. Today we'll be looking at the Vetterli M1871 Karabiner and its variants. I want to start the video by saying thank you to all the viewers of my last guides. You helped me with continuing my passion. Let's begin. I want to begin the video by saying I personally had the smoothest experience using the Vetterli throughout my service, which by now has broken the 1000 hour mark. So anyways, enough ranting from me and let's get to it. Let's begin with the basic Vetterli. The base Vetterli mostly excels at having a high base damage of 130 to the upper torso and a decent magazine capacity and ammo pool, and in return trades off range and muzzle velocity. That said, it can definitely prove its worth if you're fighting at short to medium distances and make sure your well-placed shots hit the enemy. Let's go over the perks the Vetterli benefits from, that being Iron Eye. Iron Eye is a 3 skill point trait which increases the weapon's cycle speed while aimed down sights and allows you to stay in your sights during the operation of the bolt action mechanism. Iron Eye is not a must, but will help with making sure that you get the max out of your aim down sight rate of fire, to keep the pressure up and your fire rate high. To wrap up the base Vetterli, let's look at its custom ammos and their respective tactics. Let's begin with Full Metal Jacket, or FMJ. This ammo type increases the damage drop-off of the Vetterli, ensuring you do max damage for longer range and improving your damage over range as a whole. Its second ability, the increase in penetrating power, makes it so that wallbangs are more reliable and doable even at range, ensuring soft to medium cover like fences and wood walls pose less of a challenge. It comes with a slower muzzle velocity due to the higher weight of the bullet. Next up is High Velocity. As the name implies, this ammo comes with extra muzzle velocity and extends the drop range by a bit. If you're wondering what drop range is the distance at which the projectile drops by one head height, 20 centimeters from the aim point. It does not give any extra wall penetration and suffers from a reduced ammo pool, losing out on 7 bullets and having higher recoil as well as a brighter muzzle flash, potentially making quick firing harder, as well as more easily running out of ammo or giving your position away. Unless you are pretty good at popping heads, I wouldn't use this ammo type except on potentially the Vetterli Marksman, where headshots are easier at range and form the majority of your kills. Now, on to Incendiary Ammo. Incendiary Ammo has the advantage of being a great PvE tool against all bosses except the Butcher and most AIs. It also one-shots small AI like Grunts, Hellhounds, Armeds or Hives. The main issue with Incendiary is its lack of wall penetration, since it does not allow you to finish off hit opponents, which are hiding even behind a thin fence. Although its main role is a suppressive tool to prevent healing of enemies while they are fire, except through a Banish or the Rampage trait, which means that if hit, the enemy won't be able to heal any charred health, or while the burn continues, denying health regeneration, which is either a great initiation for a push or a quick finisher by a teammate, or throwables like any of the explosive ones, like Dynamite or Frag Bomb, or even the small Stalker Beetle. Let's quickly talk about the Vetterli Bayonet. Almost all of the above applies to the Vetterli Bayonet, except the inclusion of a powerful sharp melee attached at the front, useful for taking out bosses and armors as well as one-shotting players. You should use the same ammo as the base Vetterli, and only really use the bayonet when things get close, or you have to fight a charging attacker, since otherwise it may get you killed instead of helping you. Next on the list are the Vetterlis with scopes. The Vetterlis with scopes are really good at fire support for the team. Its base velocity is at 410 meters per second, and with high velocity hits 510 meters per second, putting it in a mediocre spot compared to the Centennial. It copies all of the base Vetterli stats but throws on a scope, switching out Iron Eye for 2 needed perks: Scopesmiths, which is the equivalent of Iron Eye but just for aperture equipped and scoped weapons, allowing you to rechamber a new round while staying aimed in, and the fix to sway that stems from the higher magnification. I usually choose high velocity since I know I will need it unless I'm playing the shorter range Deadeye, which I prefer over the Marksman variant since it can be played at closer range. Next up is the Vetterli Silencer. Identical to the normal Vetterli in most ways except a 10 meter shorter drop-off range, lower muzzle velocity and drop range, following update 2.3 a 10% damage reduction due to the addition of the silencer. While this may sound discouraging to some, it is tailored towards the closer range, meaning you should be able to compensate its lack of range and allowing it to use the two before mentioned ammo types FMJ and Incendiary, And for real ninjas, there's even the last ammo type. I intentionally left out so far. Subsonic ammo. Subsonic ammo reduces the muzzle velocity greatly, which is a big trade-off, but it also quietens shots down to the point where they cannot be heard anymore, from any range beyond 50 meters, which is very powerful. To compensate the lower muzzle velocity and damage, you're also given more rounds to carry. While it may sound appealing at first, I personally would choose any of the other ammos, ever since they usually take smaller trade-offs for equally good buffs. And while the insane stealth is nice, having a reliable plan B outside stealth is better, and that's where all the other ammos prove their worth. The only other ammo not worth using is high velocity due to the reintroduction of the muzzle flash and the increase in the volume of your gunshots. Otherwise, all other ammo types besides subsonic and high velocity are worth a try to see which suits you best. To wrap up the conventional Vetterli rifles and now get to the Cyclone. The Cyclone is a cut-down semi-auto conversion of the Vetterli using a Howell gas piston clamped to the side of it. It suffers a few drawbacks like higher recoil, spread and reload times, lower drop range, damage and mag capacity in exchange for a semi-automatic firing mechanism, which doubles the theoretical fire rate and puts the cycle time down to half. While this may sound decently appealing, the high recoil can at times cut down the actual fire rate, and the low mag capacity also hinders your engagements and fire rate a lot, so it is to be played carefully. Now for a small summary of each weapon. The Vetterli in its base configuration does its best at short to medium range using FMJ and normal ammo, perhaps some incendiary ammo. The Vetterli in this config is best suited as a frontline player in the first line of the team, using your fire rate to contest enemies at short to medium range and quickly dispatching of enemies who find their way into your sights. The Vetterli bayonet can work well in close and medium range, using incendiary or normal ammo to keep enemies at bay. If things get close, you can use your bayonet as a last resort kill, or to get rid of a charging player or somebody that is hiding directly behind a corner that can't one-shot you with your current health. The Vetterli marksman allows you to support your team, but you'll need a close-range secondary like the New Army or Nagant officer. Or perhaps a Bornheim if you have Quartermaster. You can also bring a shotgun hand cannon in case your team needs to push into a compound or a close-range environment. The Deadeye is a low-powered scope mounted on the Vetterli, designed for short to medium range support with improved awareness towards your surroundings and a lower zoom to be less affected by closer ranges, and is usually the better pick out of the scoped Vetterlis due to its slow velocity. The Cyclone is a semi-auto conversion, trading off a lot of stats for better fire rate, for a higher chance to follow up your first shot, but suffers greatly in its performance and handling stats. This, combined with a relatively high price, makes it something only fit for a niche that some players may possess or prefer compared to just using a conventional Vetterli or a drilling rifle, for example. That's it, and thank you for watching. The next weapon on the list is the Romero 77 shotgun. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing for more guides to come and leave a like to show your support for the series. Have a good day.
Yeah, from here, be careful.